let's understand about advanced conditional formatting in Power BI. So these are two of our gauge charts, and we want to create a conditional formatting based upon selection. Right now, if we see our blazars, so we can see our target was for 24, however we achieved only 19 target. So basically we have not achieved our target. If the target was not achieved, we want to show the color in red, and if the target was achieved, we want to show in green. So let's go and create conditional formatting. But before that, we need to create a measure which reflect that are we behind the target or ahead the target. So this is our order quantity details, and this is our target, and this is our actual quantity. So let's go and create a new measure here. We go and click on new measure, and let's write its name as I can say, wait for a moment. Yeah, yeah, let's write its name as order quantity gap, and inside that let's write our, so we know that we are having our target quantity and something is our actual quantity, and if actual quantity, which we call as quantity sold, is less than our target quantity, then it will show a gap. Okay, so we press enter, and let's see if this is working fine. So let's go and get this measure here and get this metric kind of table and gets the data based upon the number of months, or I can say start of the month, because this gauge chart is based upon start of the month. Now you see that let me just filter it out, sort it out. Yeah, now you can see that there was a gap of 5 here. As you can see, 24 minus 19 is 5, and if we go to quotes, then you can see that there is a positive target achievement of +1 here. If we go to jackets, then I can see that there is a -5, which is the target not achieved. If we go to jeans, we can see there is a negative 2 quantity here, which means that the target has not been achieved. So this is working fine. Similarly, let's create a measure for revenue versus actual targets. So let's go to the measures table again, and let's go to new measure here. Inside that we can say revenue target gap, and inside this we can call it as uh, actual revenue, which is our revenue, less our revenue target. So this is our revenue target, and we press enter. When we do that, we can bring the revenue target gap to the measure here for our evaluation. Now let's make it up to 0 decimal points here. Yeah, now you can see that there has been a gap of $76 in case of jeans for the latest month, which is our December 24, and if we go to blazers, then we can see that there has been a gap of 201 as compared to what was our target. So this is working fine. Now let's put the conditional formatting for which we are trying to understand this session. So we select this particular chart, target versus actual quantity. Inside that, let's go to format. Inside the format, there are option of call out values. In this call out values, there is an option of color, and along with color there is an option of conditional formatting, which is shown by FX. When we click on that, we can create the conditional formatting based upon certain rules. So we select the rules, and this conditional formatting should be based upon quantity gap measure which we have created. So we select the quantity gap measure. Now we want to show that if the value is minimum, right now if you see that the value here in case of I can say quantity is -5. So the minimum value is -5, and this is less than 0. Basically what happens that this condition we need to create is because if any quantity is less than 0, then we want to show that color as I can say red, as I have selected. Also we need to add new rule. If any quantity is, we can say, uh, greater, wait for a second, let's do it in the less than. This is greater than minimum and less than 0, this is fine. And if we want to show that if the value is greater than what, greater than, we want to put it as 0, and this is less than maximum, which means that you can see if the value is, let's suppose 13, which means that it is a positive value, which means that if this is a positive value and this is a greater than 0, it means it will go and highlight the green color. So let's select the green color here, and we are done with that. We press OK. Now you can see that there is a gap of 5 quantity here, so the actual is showing as negative, as you can see. If we go to our quotes, then you can see that there is a positive 1 quantity gap which is showing in the green 15, because we have achieved actual, which is more than our target. Similarly, if we go to jackets, we can see that we have achieved less, 5 quantity has not been achieved as compared to our target, so this 10 is showing as negative. So I hope you understood this quantity. Let's try the same thing using the values here for revenue. So we go inside the revenue, and inside that let's go to our formatting, and we want the formatting to be done using the rules, and the rules should be based upon gap of revenue. So if the gap of revenue is, I can say, minimum, here you can see the, one second now, yeah, here you can see that the minimum value is whatever is the value. Let's suppose minimum value is -10, so this will become -10, and this is less than 0, which is true, because -10 and less than 0 will give us the negative numbers, right? So we want to highlight it with red, and we add a new rule, and we want to show that if the value is greater than 0 but this is less than maximum value. Maximum value is what? Maximum value, let's suppose if the gap is positive 10, so this is greater than 0 and less than 10, which itself means that the value is positive, and we need to highlight it using the green color. So we press OK and OK here. Now you can see this is showing red. If we select jeans, you can see that again this is showing red. If we select our blazers, this is again red. If we select our coats, then you can see that we have achieved more target as compared to what was actual target. So basically in December you can see there is a gap of 166. So there is a gap of between these two numbers is 166. However, we had achieved more as compared to what target was given. So I hope you understood how this conditional formatting works, and we can use it in a different ways based upon the requirement. So thank you so much for watching.